Should we start this with an intro?
What does Riggs think?
Yeah, we should probably start this with an intro.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine?
Hey kids, and I don't mean to be condescending at all in that address. It's just, at this point, referring to you guys as neighbors is feeling a little bit redundant. So apparently the new trend with YouTube are these sort of walking, talking head videos. So we're going to give this a shot while we address the issue of cabin fever.
And so, given the state of the film industry, we've kind of opted into a early semi-retirement and relocated to our cabin in the woods. And something a lot of people talk about when they hear that this is what's going on. They opt into the cliched statement that I'm living the dream, which may be true, but within the transition to relocating into the wilderness comes a bit of a learning curve. Best known as cabin fever, prairie madness, and recently I've heard the term kayak angst, which is kind of, I guess, my favorite. Space madness. As I'm pretty sure most to everyone has at least heard the term cabin fever before, I have to wonder to what extent they actually are aware of it. The first time I got a glimpse into the finer aspects of this psychological categorization was back freight hopping. We would stop at this siding and we made an old friend, well, now old friend, who went by the name of Black Powder Bill.
Good time. Yeah. Speaking of trains, here comes one now.
Yeah. Who had taken up residence in the Canadian Pacific Railway crew housing that had been kind of abandoned. And so he, living out there, had hopped a bit of freight. But while he was working out there at the mill, he had gotten into an accident and was unable to work any further and was collecting disability until the town caught fire and he lost his place. And all he had left was his lever action Winchester and his cat. So at that time, you were able to build non-permanent structures on Crown land in Canada. Now you have to placate them with a rental to do so. But he lived out there for 3 years, coming into town just for provisions and such, and spoke a little bit more about another gentleman who had been out there for about 10, and Bill talking about how he was kind of going a little batty being out there and so secluded. He also mentioned about this other gentleman having been out there for so long that was pretty much incomprehensible, maybe partially incoherent. So it really does get under your skin. But as I'm saying, there's a number of different things you can do to avoid this. Just best to have a little bit of insight as to the psychological condition before the endeavor. Just gonna take a moment to have a look around and check on Riggs and see how beautiful everything is up here. This is the trail we took last summer with the camera mount that was static, so unfortunately it was rather rocky and hard to see what was going on. So maybe we'll try that with this gimbal mount, maybe mount it to the quad coming up over the next couple weeks or so. So I guess in some ways, while we're tying our shoe here, we might be able to extrapolate that cabin fever that I've experienced is a little bit born of paranoia. But what was that Kurt Cobain said about paranoia? Are you actually paranoid if they are?
Just because you're paranoid, don't mean they're not after you.
This has been my problem right here with off-road videos and that quad video that we did. This grade is a lot steeper than it looks on camera.
I don't know, we'll see if that amplifies the steepness of that grade.
So it's a little less interesting. You miss a lot of the depth and detail in these environments when you're filming. As you can hear, there is a highway nearby, which has made its way into a number of our videos. So thanks for your patience with that. So about 3/4 of our way through the trail, and I guess our video in general, No idea how long this is going to turn out. But as I mentioned earlier, apparently these walking, talking head videos are doing rather well on YouTube. So we thought we'd try one. Let us know in the comments what you think. If you have any suggestions of other topics or things for us to do. We're all about just surviving and staving off prairie madness out here. So yeah, we're happy to hear from you guys. Definitely helps us understand and recognize through the appreciation people give to all of our effort doing these things. It is a lot of work. As I mentioned, we're working in the film industry. In doing this, you're wearing probably like, I don't even know, 20 hats, from set deck to art direction, script writing, to script supervising, to props, to lighting, gripping, director of photographying, directing sometimes when you've got other subjects or people helping you. So yeah, it is a lot of work. And like I say, we're not so much about monetization, though it is a line, kind of like that is a bit of the finish line to get there. I should explain something about YouTuber. People don't realize exactly how hard it is. So many people just drop off, given that we put in so much effort, like 8 to 12 hours, like 2 days of work, just shooting this, editing it, writing it. So definitely a crap load of work with little to no reward, especially given that, let's sit down and talk about this because it's a little depressing. So you start out on your YouTube channel, you put in all this effort. Within the first year, you get like 20,000 views on a few videos. They go like low-key viral. Feels really great, but the thing being is that your watch hours accumulated towards monetization only consider the last 365 days. So per se, if a video did really well, say I release on a production broadcast schedule of every Thursday at 2:30 p.m. So this Thursday, or when this video came out, it better be doing just as good as the video I did that corresponds to 1 year before. Otherwise I run a deficit. So you put in all of this work, you check on your monetization status, and you actually see that your watch hours have gone down, like sometimes quite a bit. So we took a break. The idea is that we're going to keep pumping out videos now, and so next year when it comes around, if it gets to be that long of a endeavor, that we're not competing with the videos from last year as much. So not that we're going to make lesser content or anything, we just took a little bit of a break to open up that gap, because really you're competing with yourself in the past and yourself in the future at the same time, which can be a little tedious for sure. How do people do these? I'm just like running into stumps of topic to talk about. It's like you're talking and then you've got this machine in your back brain, like summarizing concepts and the intellectuality of your topic, and just kind of struggling as you go along. But I mean, we're here, we're dedicated to our own sanctity and mental health to produce these things. So happy you're here with us as well as we continue to bring you this content. Please do like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button so that you can get notified when we do have videos coming out. Some of the interesting stuff coming up, we're doing a local flight this time, as we do put out adventure videos on occasion. We've done Cabo, we've done Zihuatanejo and Elicote up in the Cartel Jungle Mountain villages. So if you're interested in those, have a look. They're listed on the channel. Other than that, hopefully some bigger, more expansive plans. Do an overnighter in our new 4th season hammock that we got from Hennessy Hammocks. We've also picked up a trailer for our dual sport, given that as old age creeps in and some physical issues that helped and are helping this early semi-retirement in subsidizing this in the channel just barely. We ended up picking up a rooftop tent that's situated on a trailer for a good deal. So we're going to be riding or driving sweeper support on some motorbike camp and ride trips throughout the summer. We have potentially, well, we have been offered, so we're potentially doing a art installation up at, let me get this right, Williams Lake Arts Festival this summer. So we'll be camping out for that and doing a bushcraft type assemblage art installation with a little bit of calligraphy and painting and such. So yeah, some interesting things going on this summer, mixing it up a little bit, a little different than we've been. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. It's not all just ethereal bliss, tree spirits, fairy dust, and funky mushrooms. Well, it is, but people tend to leave out all the ghost swamping, anal beads, and assy slashy.
Well, there's a place up in northern Ontario called Magnetawan.
Magnetawan.
Yeah, Magnetawan River. And when I was a kid going up there with my parents, the only way in was either to fly in or you hopped a freight train at Union Station downtown Toronto.
Right.
And you ride in the caboose all the way up to the North Mag.
Yeah.
And when you got there, they knew you wanted to get off there.
Yeah.
So they would slow the train down. They couldn't stop.
Yeah.
But they would slow it down to 2-3 miles an hour, and one uncle would jump off, and then Dad would pass all the kids down, throw the baggage off, and then the next day or that following week, or whenever you were going to come home, you put a hanky up on one of the telephone poles, or I guess at that time they weren't telephones.
Yeah.
But and then that train would know to slow down enough the following week that you wanted to come out exactly what day you were coming out, right? So you just flag them down the week before, and then you could say they're still running on good time.
Yeah.
Speaking of trains, here comes one now.
Yeah.